Act daily as if your future self is already watching. That one sentence can change your entire life if you understand the weight of it. Because too many people make decisions only based on how they feel right now, not realizing that every choice you make today is a seed you are planting for tomorrow. Your future self is not some stranger far away. Your future self is the result of every single thing you do, think, and say right now. That's why so many people end up living lives they never wanted, because they made decisions in the moment without thinking about the consequences down the line. The life you are living today is the receipt of the choices you made yesterday, and the life you will live tomorrow is the receipt of the choices you are making right now. Imagine your future self is standing in the corner of the room watching you. Imagine that person 10 years from now. Stronger, wiser, healthier, wealthier, happier, living the life you dream about. Imagine that person watching the way you wake up in the morning, watching the way you spend your time, watching the way you treat people, watching the way you handle your responsibilities. What would that version of you say? Would they be proud? Would they be clapping for you, saying, "Yes, keep going, you're building me, you're creating me"? Or would they be shaking their head in disappointment because you keep wasting time, you keep making excuses, you keep doing the same things that keep you stuck? That's the test, because if you're not living in a way that would make your future self proud, then you're robbing yourself of the life you're supposed to have. See, the problem is, most people think of the future as some faraway land. They don't realize the future is happening every single day. You are shaping it with your actions right now. If you eat junk food every day, your future self will pay for it with sickness. If you waste money every day, your future self will pay for it with poverty. If you procrastinate every day, your future self will pay for it with regret. But if you make the hard decisions now, if you sacrifice now, if you discipline yourself now, your future self will be living in gratitude. That version of you will thank you for the pain you endured, for the habits you created, for the boundaries you set. Most people live like their future self doesn't matter. They only care about comfort in the moment. They want to feel good now, they want to escape now, they want to avoid responsibility now. But when tomorrow comes, they end up hating themselves for the decisions they made yesterday. That's why so many people wake up one day, 40, 50, 60 years old, and they look back and say, "I wish I would have done more with my life." That's the most dangerous sentence you can ever say. I wish I would have. And the only way to escape that sentence is to act every day like your future self is watching you and keeping score. Think about it like this. If the younger version of you could see who you are right now, would they be proud? Would they look at you and say, "That's who I always dreamed of becoming"? Or would they look at you and say, "Man, what happened? We had so many dreams, so much fire, so much potential, and you let it slip"? That question hurts because deep down you know whether you've honored your younger self or betrayed them. But here's the good news. You still have time to fix it. You can still make decisions today that redeem your past and create a future worth living. You can still change the story. The truth is, when you act like your future self is watching, you carry yourself differently, you make better choices, you stop settling for mediocrity, you don't just take the easy option because you know that easy now equals hard later. You know that skipping the workout now means paying for it with your health later. You know that wasting money now means struggling financially later. You know that staying around toxic people now means destroying your peace later. So you move different. You protect your energy, you respect your time, you build habits that align with the person you want to be. You stop asking, "What feels good right now?" and you start asking, "What will feel good later when I look back on this decision?" And let me tell you something, this ain't easy because most of the world is not living like this. Most of the world is chasing the quick fix, the fast pleasure, the instant gratification. They want the thrill now even if it costs them their peace later. That's why you see people drowning in debt, wasting their talent, throwing away opportunities, destroying their bodies, wrecking their families, because they didn't think about their future self. They lived like the future didn't exist. And when reality hit, they couldn't handle it. But if you learn how to delay gratification, if you learn how to say no to what you want right now for the sake of what you really want later, you separate yourself from the crowd. That's when life changes, because the world belongs to people who can sacrifice in the short term for the sake of the long term. The world belongs to people who can work in silence, discipline themselves, and stay focused while everybody else is distracted. The world belongs to the person who thinks about their future self every single day. Picture this. You wake up in the morning, and before you touch your phone, before you scroll, before you complain, you ask yourself, what can I do today that will make my future self proud? That question alone will shift your mindset. It'll make you exercise when you don't feel like it. It'll make you save money instead of wasting it. It'll make you study. It'll make you read. It'll make you grind. It'll make you walk away from negative people, because you realize your future self is counting on you. And if you let them down, you let yourself down. You know what else is powerful when you really imagine your future self? Not just a vague idea, but a clear picture. Imagine where you want to live, what kind of house, what kind of car, what kind of health, what kind of family, what kind of freedom. Picture it down to the details, and then live every single day like that version of you is already real. Because once you do that, you start making decisions that line up with that future. You stop acting like a broke person. You stop acting like a weak person. You stop acting like a victim, because your future self is not any of those things. Your future self is strong, disciplined, wealthy, wise, respected, and free. So you carry yourself as if you're already there, and eventually reality catches up. Here's the truth. Every time you procrastinate, every time you choose laziness, every time you settle, you are stealing from your future self. You are robbing them of the life they deserve. You are handing them pain they didn't ask for. But every time you push yourself, every time you stay disciplined, every time you go the extra mile, you are giving your future self a gift. You are handing them opportunities, freedom, success, happiness, and that's the kind of person you want to be. The one who looks out for their future, not just their present. It's like leaving an inheritance for yourself. The work you do today is money in the bank for the person you will be tomorrow. The habits you build today are investments in the character you'll have tomorrow. The sacrifices you make today are seeds that grow into blessings tomorrow. So the question is, are you leaving your future self rich or broke? Are you leaving them strong or weak? Are you leaving them proud or ashamed because you can't avoid the bill? One day, you will meet the person you've been building all along, and you will have to live with the results. The thing is, it's not about being perfect. Nobody makes the right choice every single time. You're human, you're gonna slip, you're gonna fall. But when you act like your future self is watching, you recover faster. You don't stay down, you remind yourself, I can't afford to waste this time. I can't afford to give up. Too much is at stake. And that urgency pushes you to get back up, to try again, to keep moving. Because you know your future is too valuable to throw away. And you know what? One day you'll thank yourself. One day you'll look back and realize all those mornings you woke up early, all those nights you stayed focused, all those times you said no to distractions, they weren't wasted. They were building you, they were creating the person you always dreamed of being, and that moment, when you finally step into the life you've been chasing, it'll all make sense. Because you'll realize your future self wasn't some stranger. It was you all along, waiting for you to rise up and do what you were always capable of doing.